Welcome to the Success Sensei podcast for anyone interested in success, happiness, and balance. We'll teach you how to be a black belt at life. And now, your host, former professional fighter, multiple world champion, entrepreneur, and investor, Robert Devane.
Bowing in. This is Robert Devane, the Success Sensei, helping you to win a life one kick and punch at a time. Episode 363. Gorging on information but starving for wisdom.
It's the Success Sensei podcast main event.
Gorging on information but starving for wisdom. All of us do it. This isn't an episode to instill guilt or feelings of shame in you. We've all gorged on information. We're all starved for wisdom. But this is the opportunity to check yourself and to change. What do you think? Do you think there's a dumbing down of society? Do you think human beings as a species we're becoming more thick as time goes by? Sometimes it's very interesting to read, historical pieces and to realize, they might be the upper echelons. They might have been the rich aristocracy of the time, but even still, how intellectual, how well educated, well read they were, or certainly some people from hundreds of years ago where it's a bit of a shock. It's a bit of a shock to the system when we like to think that we are, the most intelligent that we've ever been. So that's a bit of a fallacy. I'm going to recommend a movie, Idiocracy. I'm going to have another watch of it myself. It's very relevant to what we're talking about in this. Maybe you've seen it, maybe you haven't. It's a bit of a cult classic and it's not a hard watch because it's a comedy, but I think maybe it wasn't as popular as it could have been because Idiocracy is a hard enough name to remember or to pronounce. But it is about the dumbing down of society. It's not a hard watch. It's a funny movie, but if you watch it, while it's funny, it's also going to be shocking about how true many aspects of the movie are. So have a watch of that. I'm definitely going to check that out myself over the weekend. Distraction. Gorging on information. It's a distraction. That's what everything is designed to make us do. Whether it's social media in all its forms, it's designed to capture our attention, to make us lose focus on the important things in our lives and to fuel our distraction. The longer our eyeballs are on whatever said media is, the more attention that media gets and the more revenue it can generate and the more adverts it can sell. So it's all about distracting us and taking away our focus. It's absolutely not about learning. It never ceases to amaze me how, I don't know about you, but in the this year, there's been so many different scientific breakthroughs, especially to do with whether you're a conspiracy theorist or not, especially to do with the James Webb telescope and everything that is being discovered in the universe at large. And it should be mainstream news, and it's not. It's not getting reported. Instead, I'm not going to bring up P. Diddy or any of the ghastly things that are going on or any of the stuff that's being peddled to us, instead of some of the really important, breakthroughs that are being discovered. So I leave it up to you as to what you think is important. But certainly learning isn't being embraced. It is the gorging on information. You need to be enthusiastic to learn. A minute is a minute. A minute spent reading rubbish isn't the same as a minute spent actually learning. We don't know what we don't know. We don't know what we need to know, and we don't even know the questions to ask to gain the knowledge that we do need or that we may need. So it's all down to choices. And if we look at it, your choices are, this is very simplistic, but you'll get the gist. Talk radio or educational podcast. Gossip or constructive discussion with a potential customer or a supplier or a business partner or a friend or a loved one. So basically, any type of constructive discussion with anybody is better than gossip. Next one, a magazine or a trade journal. That's your choice. What do you think is going to be gorging in information, or, which do you think could potentially give you wisdom? A comedian or a sage. What's a sage? That's someone who's knowledgeable about whatever, somebody who's offering up wisdom. Now, don't get me wrong. I love comedians. I love entertainment as much as the next person, but in its place as a tool to recharge your batteries, but not too much of it. If you're entertaining yourself several hours a day, that's not as productive as you could be. So listening to the local loudmouth show off or seeking wisdom from an elder, especially if that elder is skilled at something in an area that you admire, then why not spend time with them? Why not seek that type of information? Netflix. Oh, here we go. Robert's disrespecting Netflix. What a hypocrite. He watches Netflix. Yeah, but listen, hear me out. Netflix are YouTube tutorials. So obviously, if you're going to be learning something off YouTube tutorials, that is, of higher value than Netflix. Everything has its place. I particularly feel and believe in entertainment when I'm tired, when it's not really possible for me to be productive. That's when it's a perfect time. When you've done your achieving for the day, you've ticked off your list, you're tired, you want to recharge your batteries, you want to unwind, you want to not be thinking about work or advancing yourself, then use your magazines and use your comedians and use your Netflix, or I was going to say do your gossip, but that's not really that productive at any time. But then absolutely seek entertainment, seek to relax. But everything has its place and everything in moderation. Daily choices change your trajectory. If two people were on the exact same path, two people of equal footing, on the exact equal footing, equal experience, the same age, everything is even. One person decides to listen to talk radio every day. The other person decides to listen to educational podcasts every day. One person decides to gossip every day. The other person seeks constructive discussions every day. The first person reads entertainment magazines, whereas the other person seeks trade journals, newspapers, in their chosen subject, as certainly the subject that they want to master. One person, I know I'm heavily weighing this towards the second person, but sure, anyway, here we are, we're on the path. One person would rather listen to comedians all day long. The other person would rather, seek out knowledgeable people, sages, prophets, whatever it is, experts, consultants, whatever it is in that chosen area. One person, the first person decides and prefers to listen to, the show offs. The other person decides to seek out skilled people, knowledgeable elders, whatever. The first person chooses to entertain themselves and binge watch Netflix, whereas the second person chooses YouTube tutorials or, informative documentaries. Which person do you think is going to advance more over the long term? Which person do you think is going to, if they were both started on the same footing and these choices were made every day over the course of years, over the course of decades, which person is going to be further along their path? Yeah, look, I can hear you say that the first person would be a lot more fun than the second person, but we know that's not true because they're not going to be, because when you're living a life that's not true to your goals, are not true to your path, and you're not reaching and you're not progressing, then realistically, what do you think that first person's mental health is going to be like over the long term? I guarantee you the person who understands entertainment in moderation, the person who's still reaching and hungry to reach towards their goals and hungry for advancement and feels themselves improving and gaining ground, I guarantee you that person is going to be in a better mental place than the first person. Anyway, have a think about that. There's no harm, I suppose, gorging on a little bit of information, but not if it's to the detriment of starving for wisdom. I hope that helps. I hope it's helped you with your daily decisions. I hope it's helped you on your path. I hope it's helped you think about your goals, your destination, your journey. Message me anytime. Thank you for listening. I'm Robert Devane, the Success Sensei. Life is a fight you can enjoy and win. Bowing out.
This has been the Success Sensei, fighting the winning fight. So add us, subscribe, like, and comment. Keep those hands up and keep moving forward.